Hi everyone. Today I am going to tell you a short story from Mahabharata, and the name of the story is Ghosayatra. And Duryodhana went to tease Pandavas and King Dhritarashtra's lamentation. So let me begin the story. When the Pandavas were exiled, they went to the forest. After a while, they reached at Dawityavana lake. Actually, Dawityavana was a vast forest, and there was a lake whose name was Dawityavana Lake, and it was beautiful. So they decided to settle over there. They chose their residence over there only. It was a calm and quiet place. So they loved it and they stayed over there only. They roamed through the jungle, means the lake area, and they enjoyed the beautiful natural sceneries of the forest and the beautiful mountains, the river valleys, and so many other things that came to their eyesight. They enjoyed everything. When the rishis and munis, those who were conversant with Vedic lore, they came to know that Yudhishthira is staying at the Dawityavana lake. They also came to meet him. They had a long conversation, means all the Pandavas and these munis and rishis, they had conversation, and the Pandavas also, they paid respect to all the rishis and munis. In one occasion, a Brahmin who was famous for his power of speech, he came to meet King Yudhishthira. So Yudhishthira with all his brothers, they paid him respect, they paid their respect, and they had a long conversation with this Brahmin. When the conversation was over, the Brahmin went to King Dhritarashtra's court. The moment King Dhritarashtra saw this Brahmin and came to know that he had already met to Pandavas, he immediately offered a seat and paid his respect to this Brahmin. And when the Brahmin took his seat, he asked about the Pandavas. The Brahmin told him about Yudhishthira, Bhimsen, Arjun, Nakul, Sahadev, and Draupadi, and their miserable condition, how they were spending their life miserably in the forest. So, in detail, that Brahmin spoke to King Dhritarashtra. Hearing the words from this Brahmin, King Dhritarashtra's heart was filled with sorrow, with grief. Then he immediately said, "Alas, King Yudhishthira, the eldest of my son, who formerly slept in the costly bed covered with a rancu skin, now he is sleeping on the bare ground. And, O Lord, Yudhishthira, who has no enemy at all, for which he was known as Ajata Satru, that pious, that virtuous, and that truthful Yudhishthira is suffering in the forest." Then again he, with great lamentation, he told about Arjun, Bhimsen, and the twins, and also Draupadi, that all because of my wicked-minded son Duryodhana, they are suffering. They are dressed up with, right now they are wearing the bark and the deer skin instead of any royal dresses. And they all are exposed to the wind, cold, and every other things. So he felt very sorry. His heart was filled with grief. And repeatedly he said that not only Duryodhana, I am also feeling guilty for their such miserable condition. Because the love, my love towards Duryodhana, I couldn't stop their exile. And because of me only, they are suffering. Thus he lamented. Whatever he said and praised all the attributes of these Pandavas, he was also again and again was telling that everything had happened due to destiny. And once they will complete their 13-year exile, what they will do to my son, means all the Kauravas, there is no doubt that they will take revenge. When he lamented saying all these things, Sakuni Mama heard his conversation, means Dhritarashtra and this Brahmin's conversation. He went and told everything to Duryodhana. Duryodhana got very angry and upset also, because every time his father was he was saying the praise of Arjuna, Bhimsen and the Pandavas. That he didn't like at all. Now, Sakuni and Karna, both of them said, "O Duryodhana, this is the right time that you should go to Dawityavana lake and see the miserable condition of the Pandavas. Is there any more pleasure that you can get if you will look at the destitute condition of the Pandavas? This is the highest pleasure you can get. So, go with your family members, means all of your wives and soldiers and everyone, and just behold the miserable condition of the Pandavas. Ask your royal ladies to be dressed up with beautiful dress and with ornaments also, so that they would show to Draupadi, who is right now with a bark and deer skin, and no ornament is there on her body. And a person, if can see the painful situation of his enemy, then that is the most that is the most happiest time for that person. So you must get this pleasure. As you know, Duryodhana was always wicked-minded. He never thought any good of the Pandavas. So he became very happy, and he was very much pleased with Karna and Sakuni and said, "Yes, I was also thinking like that, but I know my father will never allow me to go Dawityavana, because he is always in doubt that I may do some offense to Pandavas. So he will not agree." Then immediately Karna said, "Oh Duryodhana, I have a plan. You know your cattle are in Dawityavana lake. So if you want to supervise your cattle, then your father will not refuse. He will agree." Then this idea Duryodhana gladly accepted. Now Duryodhana, with all his friends, brothers and relatives, and his whole total royal family members, started his journey to Dawityavana lake. Karna, Dushasan, Sakuni, all of them. When the people of Hastinapur came to know about the king's journey, they also came, the other warriors, the citizens, they also dressed up and they came with, accompanied with Duryodhana. Now a huge number of people started going towards Dawityavana lake. At last, they reached there, but when they crossed the forest after forest, and ultimately they reached at Dawityavana lake. When they reached there, a huge uproar began. When the people were so happy and they shouted, it seemed as if the sound is coming like heavy wind in rainy season. So they reached there, and Duryodhana was very happy looking at the Dawityavana and Dawityavana lake. So immediately he ordered his soldiers to erect the pleasure houses, and the separate places, the buildings were made for Duryodhana, Karna, Sakuni and all his brothers and all the warriors, those who were present there. Thus everything was ready. Now ultimately when they tried to go to, the cowherd boys were expert in music and also singing. They also started their duty so that the king would be happy. And the dancers, they started their dance to please King Duryodhana. Duryodhana also, out of joy, he distributed drink, food and so many other things. After a while, just they choose their camp a little away from the Dawityavana lake. Now Duryodhana ordered his soldiers to enter into Dawityavana lake, and so that they would go and sport on the lake. When the soldiers went to the Dawityavana lake, the gate was closed, and immediately the Gandharvas, they just forbade them not to enter. They said, don't enter. Then Duryodhana's soldiers, they went back to Duryodhana and told him about the Gandharvas. Duryodhana got extremely angry, and he immediately sent them back. Go and say that this is my command, and how they dare to refuse my command. How can they dare to do this? So you go and tell them, right now I will come and I will sport on the lake, in the lake. So the soldiers immediately came back once again, and when the Gandharvas saw, and the soldiers said, oh soldiers, look, this is the command of mighty King Duryodhana, son of Dhritarastra, that you should stand aside. He is coming for sporting. Then the Gandharvas, means the gods, they laughed aloud and they said, hey, you go back to your senseless King Duryodhana, and it seems that he is destitute of senses. Otherwise, how could he have given the command? How could have he commanded us as if we are his servant? Go back. We do not listen anybody except our king, Gandharva king Chitrasen. Go back. Otherwise, right now, if you want, we will send you to the abode of Yama. When they said like this, the soldiers ran to Duryodhana and said the exact words, whatever they said. Now Duryodhana could not control his anger, and immediately he ordered his warriors and the soldiers and everybody to attack the Gandharvas. Now both Gandharvas and Kauravas, they started a fearful fight, a battle. And both sides, they showered the arrows, swords and the weapons. At one time, it seemed as if Kauravas are going to win over the Gandharvas, and Gandharvas became very much scared. When Chitrasen saw that the Gandharvas are flying away in all directions, means they are scared, immediately he started his illusion power. And he himself also came to fight. At last, they are the sky rangers. They knew celestial persons. They knew all the illusion. It seemed as if one Kauravas were surrounded by 10 Gandharvas, and all the Kauravas were attacked on all sides. At last, the battle take to such force, means such extent that all the warriors, they lost their steed, their chariot, everything, and Karna was the only one who stood there boldly and fought with them. But at last, Karna's chariot, steed, charioteer, everybody died, and they were slain by the Gandharvas, and he somehow slipped away to save his life with Vikarna's chariot. Thus Karna fled away from the battlefield. Now Duryodhana and Dushasana and his brothers came forward. Now Karna has gone away, so let us fight. When they fought, even including Sakuni, when they started their fight, Chitrasen created the illusion to that extent. At one point, Duryodhana was attacked from all sides and could do nothing. He lost his chariot, his steeds, his charioteer, everything, and his chariot was broken into pieces. His flag, everything was spoiled. And Chitrasen immediately seized him. Not Chitrasen, Chitrasena's guards. So all the Gandharvas, they seized all the Kauravas, and they took them as a captive. When being taken away as captive in the sky, that time, a few soldiers who were escaped from the battle, they ran to King Yudhishthira because they knew that the Dawityavana lake vicinity, Yudhishthira and all the Pandavas were staying. So they ran and told everything what had happened. The moment King Yudhishthira heard that Duryodhana was taken away by the Gandharvas and even all the Kaurav ladies, he felt extremely bad. And immediately Bhimsen was very happy, and he said, "Oh brother, what we are supposed to do, taking our soldier, our elephant, horse and so many things. Pandavas have done our work easily." Then King Yudhishthira said, "O child, O Bhimsen, this is not the time to say any cruel word. Please do not say like these words to Duryodhana. He is our family member." Now he addressed to Arjun and Bhimsen and also the twins, "O brothers, go and save our brother Duryodhana and save our family ladies. You know, if any dissension and dispute is normal thing with the blood related persons, that is a normal thing. But if any outsider will do any harm to our family, then our family honor will be destroyed. This is an insult to us also. We cannot tolerate this. Nobody should dare to give an insult to our family. So, O Bhimsen, O Arjun, go and save Duryodhana and all the royal ladies and others also. Save our brothers. And yes, you try to conciliate with Gandharvas, and very humbly you ask them, request them. If they won't listen, then apply your force at any cost. You free them from the Gandharvas." The moment elder brother gave the command, Bhimsen and Arjun with twins, Nakul and Sahadev, they ran to join in the battle. Now Gandharvas were going away. Immediately Arjun said, "O Gandharvas, release my brother Duryodhana and release all our family members. They are our family. What for you are carrying them? That too you are making them a captive. Then the Gandharvas said, Ki we cannot obey your orders, O Arjun. You should go. We only obey the order of our king Chitrasen. Then Arjun said, well, if you don't want to listen to my command, and if you will not release them humbly, then I will apply my force, my prowess. Then he started releasing his celestial weapons, and even Bhayavastra, means the celestial weapon he released, and all the Gandharvas were just scattered, and they got severe pain with the arrows, with the shot of Arjun. They thought that they could easily defeat Arjun, Bhimsen and these twins as they defeated Duryodhana. But unfortunately, they didn't know his prowess. However, right now, after a while, Chitrasen appeared before Arjun and said, Ki, oh friend, with my command they have done. I am your friend, now stop it. Now Arjun said, oh Chitrasen, I requested them, but they didn't listen. Then Chitrasen said, Ki Arjun, do you know that for what intention Duryodhana had come? We came here to sport just because to see the intention of Duryodhana when he prepared to come here. And I know very well, he doesn't have any good intention. He just wanted to show his prosperity, his luxury, and to see your destitute condition. How you, all of you are wearing the deer skin and you are sleeping on the bare ground. That is what he came to see it. And for that reason, I wish to give him a punishment. Then Arjuna said, Ki, oh friend, now it is over. Release them and let us go to King Yudhishthira. So all of them, means Duryodhana, all the royal family members, and Chitrasen, and these four Pandavas, they stood before King Yudhishthira. Then Yudhishthira said, Ki, oh Chitrasen, we are fortunate that you have not killed till now Duryodhana. We are saved, we are honored by you, and I am very much thankful to you. Now kindly release them and let them go. Chitrasen, hearing the command of, means the Yudhishthira's speech, Chitrasen was very much pleased. Immediately, he saluted King Yudhishthira and freed them all. Now Yudhishthira said, looking at Duryodhana, he said, oh Duryodhana, never do any act like harsh act like this. You will not get pleasure. If you ever do this type of rash act, then definitely you will get only pain. Now you go back with all the family members to your capital and enjoy your kingdom. When he said this, and that too so politely, so humbly, Duryodhana's heart was filled, means overwhelmed with shame. He couldn't think that he would be saved ever from the Gandharvas. Now he bowed down his head before King Yudhishthira and went back to his capital, Hastinapur. This much is the story, but you know what? The after story, after this, what had happened is so hilarious, and definitely I will share that story tomorrow. Thank you so much. And this one is a long video, but hopefully you will watch it. Thank you.